Welcome back to another video. My name is Kyle, and I suck at budgeting. We're going to chat for a bit today. There's not going to be a lot of YNAB. There might be a little bit, but, um, I want to talk a little bit about life and stuff and things. And one of the reasons I formed this channel was to let people know that it's okay to not know what to do, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it just because you don't know, or you're confused or scared. I wanted to give people that sort of feeling, and I hope that this story will, or this chat, whatever it is, will help. And I would encourage you, if you are inclined to do the same. um, I am willing to sit and chat with you on a video call or whatever. And I don't have a tremendous amount of reach on YouTube, but if you wanted to share your story on my channel, I am happy to do that. And who knows, it might help someone. And that's kind of what I'm here to do. I want to help. And so I thought that I would kind of tell you where my brain is, and kind of go from there. So um my biggest um dilemma right now is work, honestly. And one of the reasons behind this YNAB journey is because I don't necessarily want to be working so much anymore. There's so much that I want to do outside of work, but I can't. And we'll talk a little about that, a little bit about why in a few minutes. But um there's when I get to work, um it's basically this.
I don't wanna work. I just wanna bang on this mug all day.
Did you ask?
I get out of the Jeep and the first words out of my mouth are, I want to go home. I don't want to be here, every day. And it goes a little bit deeper than that. I mean, I've never been happy in any job that I've had. And a lot of it is just, um, I think that as workers, obviously we need to work, and I get that. But I think that time is our most valuable possession. And I don't think anyone can afford to pay for our time. People try, and we have to kind of make sacrifices to allow for that. And there are people who are out there that are lucky enough to love what they do and enjoy it. That's not me. I'm not one of those people. And some of it is the field that I'm in. I mean, I enjoy IT and technology and stuff like that. Um but I don't know. I just I wanted to talk a little bit more about why I don't like the whole work thing. So, I mean, it's 8 hours a day, it's 5 days a week. It's a lot of time that we spend doing stuff that we could be doing other things. And this is kind of going down the fire road path, like, you know, saving enough so that you could, retire early. And, you know, um it's interesting because I'm just finishing up the book, Die with Zero. And it's interesting because I'm also starting the Financial Independence 101 course with Choose FI. And it's almost like two different schools of thought. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to talk a little about work because for me, going to work and then going home, it's like people, oh, just do stuff after work. It's like the problem is I am so drained after work, and it all has to do with me. And last week, I was actually asked to fill out a survey. So there's a team that gets formed every year. It's different people every year, and this team forms to solve a problem. And this year, the problem was, why this is a problem, I don't know, but it seems kind of a silly problem. But um, why do people not attend the events that the company puts on? So the first question was, what events have you attended? The second was, why did you not attend events? And then the third was, what would incentivize you to attend more? Um, So I focused my answer mostly on number two, why I did not attend. And there were three different reasons. One, work life balance, which I don't want to get into too much. We talked a little bit about it, here, but for me, what drains me the most is the second thing that I talk about, which is social anxiety. There is, and again, it's a me problem, but I deal with people nonstop from when I walk in the door until I leave. And I am the kind of person that is very uncomfortable around people, and it takes everything I have to hold it together every day. Um, and I get home after trying to hold it together all day long, and I just crash. I just need um, a break. And for a while, I was by myself up until recently, where they got someone in to help, you know, with the workload. Which, quite frankly, I didn't need help. I told them I didn't want anyone. I am not behind on anything. Everything is up to date. There is, I mean, could I offload some of my stuff to this person? I could, but I don't need to. There's no reason that we have a second person for this job, which is what I was trying to explain. And it was part of it was selfish. Was I needed that time by myself, but now I've got someone in the office every day with me, and I don't have that 3, 4, 5 minute break in between people walking in and out of my room to decompress. Now I've got someone in there, and I feel like I'm on display every single second that I'm there. Um, and the people that I work with, they're nice people. First off, the guy they hired, he's a great kid. He's doing a great job, and he does give me my space when I need it. He's, very considerate. It's nothing about him at all. 100% me is the problem. But um, the people that I work with, um, there are some boundary issues. We have a sign on the door. Like if I'm in a meeting or something, I close the door so I don't get disturbed while I'm talking to other people. And people bang on the door. The few people that have access to my room just walk in and talk to me while I'm in the middle of a meeting. Um, People talk to me while I'm going to the bathroom. I mean, it's ridiculous. A couple months ago, I walked into the office. I had my backpack on. I had a handful of stuff, and my foot did not even touch the ground of the entryway before someone said, "Hey, I need help over here." Like, not even good morning. Hey, how was your day? It's going so far. No, I need help over here. Get over here and do it. And it's like, I was like, can I at least put my stuff down? Like, what would you like me to do? I've got stuff in my hands, like boundaries. But so dealing with that on top of the social anxiety and dealing with the people, it's difficult for me. And you know, trying to go out after work and do stuff, it's hard because of that, of trying to hold it together all day long, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. In fact, it's closer to 9 or 10 hours a day because I get in early, I leave late, which I'm gonna try to stop doing a little bit. Try to work actual hours. I don't take lunches. I just I go, and it's hard. It's very hard for me to do that. Um, and I was. Some of you know that I'm a musician as well. I mean, there are guitars back there. I don't play the guitars. I'm actually a keyboard player. There's a piano, digital piano over there. There's a grand piano in the room over there. Obviously, I know a little bit about recording equipment, and I've been doing that. But I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and it's I have an easier time if you were to put a piano on a stage in front of several thousand people and just like don't even tell me about it. Just like, hey, go up and play for a little while. Okay, no problem. I'll go up and sit there. I don't care. There could be 20,000 people there, whatever. Doesn't matter. But if you sit me in a room with like three, four, five, six, seven people, that interaction, I hate it. Can't stand it. Don't want to be there. Leave me alone. I know it's weird, but that's the struggle for me is that sort of stuff. Um, but I have no problem, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, hang on. Okay. Sorry, getting a phone call. Um, being on display like that is, I have no problem playing, musical instrument in front of people. Like, I've always looked at it like I've made a fool out of myself, before. I'll do it again. Like, I don't try to do that. Obviously, I try to do my best, but that sort of stuff doesn't stress me out. I can do it all day long. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. Um, I was mentioning before, going through the financial independence 101, which I literally just started. I got through like the first little bit of it, the first like lesson I think, and then also reading and finishing up Die with Zero. They're two very different, um, schools of thought. Like this Die with Zero is a lot about spend, spend, spend before you die, and someone who also struggles with mortality and death, and it was interesting to talk about, or listen to someone talk about, you know, spending before you die, and it's like do this before you die, and it's a lot of it was death, death, death for me. It was like by page 20, I was like, all right, I get it. Like I understand what you're saying. I don't need 200 pages of this, but on the other hand, there's the financial independence side of it, and that's more about save, 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 and um, I just trying to figure out where I'm falling on this. Because so much of what I do, and the reason I started this journey was to retire faster, find a way to do it faster. So I think I'm kind of falling on the financial independence side, and I'm kind of going that way. So there's something else in my brain that I wanted to mention, and I can't, hasn't triggered yet. So while I'm thinking about that, I want to hop into YNAB for a second. All right, so it finally triggered. It took me having to go to the post office, make lunch, and watch half of the video to figure out what I wanted to say. And I wrote it down too, just in case I forgot again. But going back to the work stuff, I know what a lot of people will say is, just take some time off. It sounds like you just need to take some time off. And the problem with that is stupid brain. All of the stuff that goes through my head about taking time off. Um, there's I'm one of those people that can't have unread messages, can't have unread emails, can't have unread tickets. Like all that sort of stuff. Like when I leave for the day, all of my emails read, all my messages read and dealt with. It's very rare that I get an email late enough that I can't do anything about it. And same with tickets, like they're always at a state where I'm waiting on someone else before I leave for the day. And taking time off, I worry about the stuff that's going on when I'm not there. Which I know goes back to well, you got someone to help you now. And yes, I do, but I'm not that person. Unfortunately, the brain doesn't let that go. The other thing is taking time off is difficult because of the going back. And it was very apparent a year ago. It was April, not this past April, but the April before. So that would have been April of 2023. I do a podcast about music also, and my buddy CJ came out. We do the podcast together. He lives in New York, and he came out in April to start our second season of the podcast. We recorded a bunch, and I took Friday off basically to pick him up and Monday to drop him off, essentially. And the entire weekend was just us recording, episodes of the podcast. We did, intro and intro and outro music. We did just stupid recording stuff. Like he wanted to sing that what's that Mika thing? I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet. That thing. He wanted to do that, and record himself doing that. So just a lot of recording, a lot of like really cool, fun stuff. And, just to get the mental brain power to go back, that next day, it was super difficult. And I just find that it's easier to not take the time off and to just power right through because I don't have to deal with that sort of stuff, which I know is not healthy. I know it's not the right way to do it, but that's what I do. It just it's easier for me to do it that way. So that's what I was trying to think about and add. So now we'll get back into the YNAB stuff. So I wanted to hop into YNAB for a second, um, for a few things, mostly because of this, and this is my goals. And it was funny because I was going through this, dealing with the financial independence stuff and the die with zero stuff, and I was like, oh, I really need to change my priorities and the number. So pay off the Jeep is what we're really focusing on right now. And then I thought my house was up further, and I've been redoing these in order, and it's funny that I think it's right where it needs to be. Because listening to some of the stuff that I've learned, so, in the very beginnings of the FI journey, is that yes, trying to save is okay, but at the same time, like having house is okay. My whole thing was if I eliminate the house, it's less for me to pay on. And the original plan was once this whole $1,200 stops, and this 408.75 stops, I was going to go into this and start paying this off faster. But I think it's more beneficial to move this into more of the retirement stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Again, if you think that you want to share your story, feel free. I hope this was helpful. I hope that, it puts you at ease a little bit to know that other people are going through this sort of stuff, and it's okay. So, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled budgeting soon. It's the 18th, so we got another week before I get my next paycheck, and I haven't been doing a budget with me with that just because it's basically finish out the month. So I'll wait till the end of the month to do that. So we'll do that, and then we'll move forward. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.